What's up? I'm Ashley, and we're going to be breaking down Yellowjackets Season 3, Episode 5. But first, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And with that being said, we're going to start things off in the wilderness. Down and out Coach Ben, staring up at the sky when Akila walks in with her goat. He makes small talk with her and tells her that that goat is going to need special feeding since its mom just died. His mom used to foster kittens and she was good with animals too. He asked her if she knew what they were going to do to him and she tells him she doesn't know anything, which is true because while she was over there becoming one with the goats, the rest of them were trying to figure out what to do with Coach Ben. Lottie shows everyone the drawing Travis made during the trial and says she thinks this is what it wants. But what does this drawing say exactly, Lottie? Because to me, it looks like someone is teleporting in the air. Where Travis at? He can talk. Come tell the room what you drew. Somebody getting teleported or not? Somebody getting sacrificed or not? So no one has a question about that drawing? He can go back to sleep on that little hammock if he don't got nothing to say. Shauna don't want to hear none of that. She said, oh my God, he's still gonna die. He was found guilty, so he's dying. If he wanted to play with fire, we'll give him fire. Mari said, so you want to burn him at the stake? Like a witch? You know, if Mari finds something morally wrong, it gotta be wrong. Natalie has the idea of a firing squad since it'll be quick. She also said it's because it's humane. She must don't know the definition of humane. Shauna wants Natalie to shoot him since she can shoot better than everybody else, but really I think it's because Shauna's still mad at the fact that Natalie let him walk away and didn't want anybody to go out looking for him. Plus, she really wants to be the leader, and she's just a weird hater. Natalie says, we'll just draw cards like we do with everything else. Then here goes Van jumping in, talking about whoever pulls the king card, that's the Suicide King. Suicide King? How is that? When y'all the ones doing the killing. I don't know why they over there pulling these cards when really it should be Shauna who's gonna do it. She wanted it done the most, so it should be her. Flipping the votes? Flip, flip, flop. Why is this even up for debate? Why is that for debate for? They just be letting Shauna punk them every which way. You ain't gonna punk me? So here goes Van in the middle of the circle with a deck of cards. Got everybody pulling a card to see who's gonna be the one to shoot Coach Ben. Who's gonna be the lucky one? And from Van's expression, I knew that it was Thaisa who was gonna get the card. So since Thaisa is the one who pulled the king card, her and Van are out practicing her shot. But Thaisa is nervous about this whole thing. She's scared now. She said, what if I blow his other leg off? She really doesn't want to do it, so Van tells her to turn into her sleepwalking self, then compares her to Steve Urkel. In my episode 5 trailer breakdown, I did mention how Thaisa is like Steve Urkel, but I didn't even watch the episode. I guess I tapped into the wilderness. It was talking to me. But Van suggests that she taps into her Stefan Arkell, meaning turn into other Ty. That way she'd be able to take out Coach Ben. But since Ty hasn't sleepwalked for months, Dan has the idea to get in a little bound chicka wow wow since that summons the other Ty too. It's either her falling asleep and then sleepwalking or bound chicka wow wow. What's going on with that? Even after a quickie, other Ty still didn't show up. But while they're on their way back home, a rabbit gets caught in one of their traps. They both took this as a sign that the wilderness wanted blood. So Van told her to kill the rabbit like Lottie taught us. Become present. Be one with the rabbit. Poor rabbit! Then the wind started blowing and the trees was moving. What's going on with these trees? Meanwhile, Misty brings Coach Ben a fish laid out on the platter. She said, here's dinner. He said, wow. No funky organ meat and some greens? What did I do to deserve this? She said, the firing squad is coming at dusk. They're coming. I'm so sorry. I did everything I could. He tells her he knows she tried and that it's okay. Then there goes Misty taking it too far again. You were my first boyfriend. And amputation. Coach Ben tired. He didn't even try to correct her this time. He just let her roll with it. Look how he looked at her. He just threw. He knows she crazy. Little Delulu. Shauna can't even mind her business without Melissa creeping up on her. Then again, Shauna deserves no peace. Melissa brought her a gift. She made her something that she can put her knife in since she likes stabbing up things so much. Shauna said, why do you even like me? Melissa said, you say that like there's nothing to like. That's the thing. There's nothing to like. Melissa brings up how Jeff and Jackie treated Shauna so bad, but now she's a whole different person, and she likes the fact that she's not afraid of the bad parts of herself anymore. I think Melissa's hat is a little too tight. Lottie pulls up on Aquila. She said, "Are you ready to go back to the cave? I think it's time to go." Oh, so drop everything because you're ready to go. So when Aquila, Lottie, and Travis get to the cave, Travis told Lottie, "Maybe we should call this off." She said, "Why? You saw it in your vision, didn't you?" Yeah. No, no. Ain't seen nothing. Aquila is afraid to go inside the cave, so Lottie pressured Travis into talking Aquila into going inside the cave. He tells her everything will be okay and he'll be right there when she passes out. She's like, "Okay, good. Out of everyone, you're the only one I actually trust." And he's standing there looking stupid. Once they're inside the cave, they tie Aquila up to a rope and tells her once the rope stops is when they'll come and get her. Travis wants to go get Aquila because he knows the wilderness didn't tell him nothing. But Lottie made him wait. She said, "You don't trust it? You don't trust the wilderness?" Right after that is when Aquila passes out, flat on the ground like a pancake. They go and get her, and they're waiting until she wakes up. But it's taking a minute, so Lottie starts chanting, "Bring her back to us, bring her back to us, bring her back to us." Travis looking at her like, "Girl, I told you this was a bad idea. You lying was a bad idea. Could get somebody hurt." But Aquila finally wakes up and her eyes is rolling in the back of her head. When she finally got herself together, she tells them what she saw. She said she was standing on top of a cliff. At first, she couldn't see anything, but then all of a sudden, bam, there goes Coach Scott. He was suspended in the air, and he kept me from falling so I can get to the other side. She says she felt like she should have been scared, but instead she felt hope. And if you notice, she was able to see the city while standing on its back. So maybe that's a clue or foreshadowing that Coach Scott will be the one to help get them home. Poor Coach Scott, laid out on the ground, holding on to a goat for dear life when he hears his boyfriend's voice whisper, "Come home to me, Ben." Then all of a sudden, there they all go. Put a bag over his head, dragged him to the tree, and tied him to it. Got the man tied up to a tree. Then Natalie takes off the heart necklace and puts it around his neck, talking about, "I'm so sorry, Coach." Now Coach is begging for his life. Jen tries to put the bag back over his head. He says, "Don't you put that bag on my head. If you're going to do this, look me in the eye." Then she looked him in the eye and said, "You don't deserve that," and walks away crying. My thing is, why is everybody crying? If you're going to do it with your chest. What you crying for? While Thaisa is getting ready to shoot, we see her change from regular Ty to other Ty. She stops crying, her face gets blank, and her voice gets deeper. She looks at Van and says, "It'll be all right." Just as she fires the shot, Lottie and Travis comes running in. Lottie takes the gun from Thaisa, and Travis knocks Coach Scott down from the tree. Lottie says, "We can't kill him. He has a purpose. Aquila saw it." Aquila tells everyone he's our bridge home. Shauna is pissed. So later that night, Coach Scott is minding his business when Shauna and Melissa come pulling up on him. He's like, "Hey, you can't hurt me. You heard what Lottie said." Shauna hands the knife to Melissa and tells her, "You do it." I said, "Do what?" And Melissa's scared. She don't want to do it. But here goes Shauna with her manipulation. She told her, "You shouldn't be afraid of your bad parts either." And that's all it took for her to go over there and cut his Achilles. His Achilles! Natalie told Shauna, "You don't have to enjoy it this much." And Shauna told her, "You don't have to act like such a saint." Then they shock everybody when Shauna and Melissa hold hands and go inside the tent together. We saw it coming, but they didn't see it. Meanwhile, Coach Scott is still over there hollering, "Ah!" He said, "Ah!" Moving on to present day, where we have the investigation of Lottie's death. And I was wondering, out of all people, how was Misty the one to be able to identify Lottie's body? But it turns out the man working there is also one of those citizen detectives. And it was also how she was able to get Lottie's personal items. That and her threatening to snitch on the man for stealing some dead person's personal items once before. I thought it was interesting we get this flash of Teen Misty and Teen Lottie at the morgue. What do you think that whole thing means, if it means anything? But once he leaves the room, Misty takes DNA from Lottie's body to keep for herself, since she's going to do her own investigation. Later that day, Misty is somehow able to get Van, Thaisa, and Shauna to her house to tell them about Lottie's death. Shauna said, "What? No, I just saw her." Van talking about, "It can't be. She's Lottie." So what that mean? Lottie can't die? Misty said, well, it's true. I confirmed it myself at the morgue earlier today. She tells them that the coroner thinks it was accidental and says that she just fell down the stairs. But it feels fishy. Of course, Shauna accuses Misty of killing Lottie and holding this meeting acting like she didn't do it. She said, where were you yesterday? Huh? You left work early. Where were you? No, Shauna, where were you? And where is that cat? Misty calls Fred, the coroner, wanting to know why Lottie's phone wasn't with the rest of her things. He tells her they never had it. You know she gotta figure that out. So she gets inside her car, and at this point, she's driving to an unknown location. Shauna still believes Misty could be behind Lottie's death, so she decides to follow Misty. I'm a little shocked Misty couldn't tell anyone was following her, but Shauna sure could tell someone was following her, so she pulled into an alley and braked hard so they could hit her in the back. She got out real fast with her pepper spray. She had it ready. She want all the smoke. If you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. Turns out Walter was the one following her, and he's made himself chief citizens detective on Lottie's case. Didn't nobody ask him, he just took it upon himself. He told her he's following her because her track record is strong. She killed Adam Martin. She said, technically, first of all, that wasn't a murder, per se. Somebody come get her and lock her up inside the same loony bin they locked Lottie in. After she reminds him that both he and Misty caught a body, Walter has this idea for them to both work together. Meanwhile, Misty sneaks into the basement where Lottie died. She finds these scratch marks on the wall where she was most likely trying to catch herself from falling. When she talks to Cliff at the front desk, she finds out that he's known Lottie since she was a kid because her family has lived in the penthouse since about 1978 or 79. Lottie used to live there until her parents divorced, then she went with her mom to Jersey. He told her recently Lottie has been living with her dad for weeks now, so I'm confused on why she needed to stay at Shauna's house when she was always able to go back home. So then Misty introduces herself as Mary and brings Lottie's father a dessert. She's able to make her way inside the house after she tells him that Lottie told her there was a package there for her. Once she's inside, she finds the bank receipt in Lottie's coat. She withdrew $50,000 from her savings account. Where the money at? And was it the person who killed her the one who took the money? Misty is being sneaky, saying, I thought I saw her in the lobby with someone. Lottie's father says, yeah, it was probably someone from the cult. Misty says, so maybe it was one of them who pushed her down the stairs. He said, no, it was an accident. And Marty down at the station knows his foundation won't see a dime if he says otherwise. What you talking about, Mr. Matthews? You know who killed Lottie? 'Cause it sound like it. But to Misty's surprise, Shauna and Walter already beat her inside the house. They were able to easily lie to him and tell him they were there to fix the internet. Why is he so gullible? I know he has dementia. He has a caretaker there. She didn't think any of that was suspicious? Fire her. But Shauna and Walter are there doing their own investigation. Walter got himself involved because he knows what makes Misty's toes curl. So he thinks by getting involved in this case will make her come running back to him. But even though Shauna and Walter are working on the same team against Misty, they still don't trust each other and thinks that they both could have killed Lottie. So Walter has this idea to exchange DNA. He takes out a strand of his hair and he wants Shauna to do the same. Of course, she said, no, I'm not giving you my hair, and walks away. Misty makes her way to Lottie's room to find her phone, and just when she finds it, Walter beat her to it and wiped it clean. She said, why are you doing this? I can't believe I let someone as despicable as you give Caligula a bath. Now that hurt Walter's feelings. You can tell. That really hurt his feelings. Walter thought they were just having fun. He looked like he was about to cry. Now, Misty, you know you missed that man. You was looking for his letters and everything. Why you playing in his face like that? When Shauna walks inside Lottie's room, you can tell she really started to miss her. While thinking about all the memories she had with her, Lottie's father comes in and says, Lottie, I told you to clean your room. Now remember, he has dementia and he doesn't know who he's talking to. Shauna plays along and she pretends that she's Lottie. He's basically telling her that he doesn't understand her and wishes that he could. I think this was Shauna's way of saying her goodbye to Lottie. While out to eat, Thaisa is only worried about food, while Van just can't believe Lottie is dead. She's low-key suspicious of Thaisa and wants to know where she went during that hour they separated. Taissa told her, well, I had to scope out the scene. I had to go get some cash and hire a horse and carriage and have them ready. She also blames it on New York being chaotic. Girl math, that doesn't take an hour. She's like, what? You think I killed Lottie? Van's like, no, that's not what I'm saying, but really, that's what she's thinking. Then Taissa gets a call from Simone for them to meet up at the park since Sammy's been asking for her. They were only at the park for about 45 seconds until Sammy picks up the dog and said, let's go. Soon as she gets there, he looks at her and says, are you not my mommy anymore? I'm pretty sure Sammy can tell the difference between regular Ty and other Ty. And we pretty much found that out in season 1. But Ty tells him, I'll always be your mommy no matter what. But he don't believe it. He picked up that dog quick, ran over there to Simone like, let's go, now. But it was funny when Van came along and sat next to Simone. Simone looked her up and down and said, so you're her, huh? Mm, mm-hmm. So once Taissa gets home, she tells Van, how would you feel about a change of scenery? I think I need to get out this house. And you already know Van is like, okay, whatever you say. Where Taissa thinks she gonna run to? Where's she gonna run to? Cause other Ty coming with her. I thought we were gonna find out more information on Taissa since the episode was named after her. Did Ty do that? But we don't know. We don't know for sure. Still. So I'm a little disappointed in that. I mean, even a little disappointed in the episode. But y'all let me know your thoughts on the episode down in the comments so we can talk about it. And if you have not already and want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.